the 5 greatest giants ever mentioned in the Bible. For thousands of years, the ancient world whispered of colossal beings, giants who walked the earth, towering over men and striking fear into nations. These weren't just myth or legend, they were real figures woven into the threads of biblical history, each one a lesson, a warning, and a mystery. 1. The Nephilim giants before the flood. Long before anything else, there were the Nephilim, mysterious giants born in a time when heaven and earth crossed paths in forbidden ways. The Bible paints their origin as unsettling, sons of divine beings who took human wives, producing children of enormous stature and strength. These were not merely tall men, they were heroes of old, men of renown whose existence bent the world toward violence and rebellion. Imagine a world where the sky's giants stalked the plains, where men looked up in fear and wonder. Their presence became one of the reasons ancient life spiraled into corruption, bringing judgment upon the world like a storm gathering on the horizon. Their legacy echoes in every giant story that follows, an ancient reminder of both human arrogance and divine mystery. 2. The Anakim, mountain-like warriors of Canaan. Centuries later, after the floodwaters receded and nations rose again, explorers and spies sent to survey the Promised Land returned with a chilling report. We felt like grasshoppers in our own eye. These were the Anakim descendants of giants, giants among the tribes of Canaan, towering warriors whose very shadow seemed to swallow the land. Their presence terrified even seasoned soldiers. Legends say their height rivaled trees, and their strength made cities quake. They weren't mythical illusions, they were real obstacles in the path of a new nation's destiny. But though they filled the land with fear, their story is not just one of terror, it is one of challenge and destiny. 3. King Og of Bashan, the last of the Rephaim. Imagine a king so vast that his own bed was forged from iron, a monument to his massive presence. This was Og, king of Bashan, one of the last of the ancient giant clans known as the Rephaim. Og's realm was a land of rocky cliffs and colossal fortresses. He ruled with the fury and pride only a giant could carry. When Moses led his people towards the east, Og rose like a mountain against them, a final fearsome battle between destiny and defiance. The clash was not merely physical but symbolic, the end of the old age of giants and the rise of a new chapter for humanity. 4. Goliath of Gath, the giant who mocked a nation. Then came perhaps the most famous giant, Goliath of Gath, towering over 9 feet tall, clad in heavy bronze, his voice echoing over fields of battle, taunting the armies of Israel. Goliath wasn't just a warrior, he was a psychological weapon. Day after day he stood on the battlefield, daring Israel to fight, shaking their confidence like thunder shaking a village. But what makes Goliath's story unforgettable isn't his size, it's how he fell. A young shepherd named David stepped forward. No armor, no sword, only a sling and an unwavering faith. With a single stone, David felled the giant, proving that courage and belief can conquer the greatest intimidations. 5. The 6-fingered giant, a warrior beyond measure. Beyond the well-known giants was a figure that defies normal human form, a 6-fingered giant described in the books of Samuel. This warrior wasn't just tall, he was different. With fingers beyond the ordinary count and arms to match, he stood as one of the most extraordinary figures in any ancient battlefield narrative. His uniqueness terrified soldiers and scholars alike. Though overshadowed by Goliath in fame, this giant story reminds us that history and myth often contain wonders even the boldest minds struggle to explain. How many of these giants in the Bible did you know asides Goliath? These giants were not just towering figures, they were symbols. Each one represented not just physical size, but spiritual trials and obstacles in the path of faith and destiny. From worlds before the flood to the battlefields of kings and shepherds, their tales continue to captivate and inspire. They remind us that fear can be confronted, that giants can fall, and that courage, belief, and purpose can elevate the smallest of figures into the realm of legends.